Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping into the world of XRP, reviewing what's been going on in the latest updates with the SEC versus Ripple, into the news of XRP, into the price action, what I think is likely to happen next with the price of XRP and all that wonderful stuff. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? If you're watching this on X and you're not yet following us, follow us there. Give us a repost. We do appreciate that. Help spread the content to more like-minded individuals. Let's go ahead and jump right down into the desktop and start things off by taking a look at the price action of XRP. We'll start things with the 1 hour time frame. So this is actually XRP paired up with USDT on the BitGet spot exchange. Now, following on from our previous kind of thoughts and opinions here, we're still looking at this as a potential move down deeper. We do have this idea of a short position that we were talking about way back on the 20th of August. On our 1 hour time frame, we can see we completed what we hope to be a diagonal pattern down here a little bit lower. Otherwise, it's WXYXZ, but it doesn't really fit perfectly for that. So I think this is leading diagonal coming up, and then we're going to look to drop down into a bigger wave 3. Our current expectations are to come down towards 45.53 and 46.100. Okay, so that's kind of where we're looking to target that next big move downwards. Okay, this is obviously on the journey towards our ultimate targets of 35.191 to 39.236. Okay, but this is just microstructure movements. There's a lot of different structures happening on different time frames. This is just the 1 hour time frame, and so it's important that we understand that in order for us to move up, because I do think we're going to see very significant gains in the future, we have to appreciate that price has to go down. Okay, we can't go to the moon without first having natural healthy corrections on that journey. So let's jump back into the most recent price action, as you can kind of see just here. We have got ourselves a bit of a coiling up situation. We do have the potential to still push up a little bit higher towards the 53.8 to 54.3. Okay, that's still something that we have to kind of consider. However, it's also possible that we've already kind of started this next leg to the downside, right? And we were talking about this the last time with the potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 structure here, meaning that we look for the 3-wave pattern to the upside, which is kind of already there, but we can still push up a little bit more if we needed to. And then we'll look for that next big impulsive break to the downside. At the moment, we are just underneath the 200 EMA, okay, and that's the resistance area at the moment. And we can see that we're finding support on the hourly 50 EMA. So we're basically coiling between the two, and we're getting ready for a big move in one particular direction. Now, as I said yesterday, we basically are waiting for confirmation that we've either started our wave 3 of wave 5, or we are still in wave 2 of wave 5. Okay, and for this to kind of be confirmed, we need to either break down lower than our swing low at 50.327 or break up higher than 53.650 to get confirmation. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that we still have that technical move where we could see 53.8 to 54.3, because if this in fact has not yet finished, well, that is the next move. We have a 3-wave pattern coming up here. This is actually just a WXYXZ, which is still technically possible on both the accounts, depending on how you want to look at it from what level lens. And then you can see that this could be an entire structure that takes us up into that range there for a big wave 2. So it's still possible. We haven't got confirmation at this point for which one is the scenario that's going to unfold. So the best thing here to do is be patient. We know that our direction is to the downside at a macro level, right? We know that that is the direction that we're going down on this hourly chart, even though there's a few candles that are still telling us that we might end up moving up a little bit further before we break on down. Anything above 55.750 changes our structure for our wave 4. And our wave 1, basically 59.739. If that wave 4 were to pierce up higher than there, then of course that rules out the idea of a wave 5 altogether. Okay, it's a little too soon for any of those things. As you can kind of see, it's been a ranging market over the weekend. Now, at a scale here, we can see that we're coiling up quite nicely, but we have got higher highs and higher lows, and they do have a tendency to want to break on down. Let's go ahead and just get a parallel channel in here. As you can see on this hourly chart, you can see that it might be a little bit of a push upwards here, but ultimately higher highs highs, higher lows will lead us to a break to the downside. This is something that you can see time and time again. Okay, so at the moment, yeah, we are at an interesting point in time. But we are suspecting further downside. It's also possible that there's some kind of triangle going on here, but that's for probably another day. I don't think that's really what's going on, and we'll know more over the next probably 2 days or so. I would have thought that should give us the direction that's going on here. So patience with this one. It's still our short from the 20th is looking good. We're still in profit. Even if we do come back up towards our entry, I'm not concerned. I do suspect that we're going to see a very big drop to the downside on our 1 hour time frame. Which brings us over to the daily time frame. So from the daily time frame, we can see that we are nesting down a 5-wave pattern, but we're not yet kind of confirming the 5-wave structure, I don't think. And now it's possible that we could have, but I think that we've got a little bit further to the downside within that 5th wave that we were just talking about on the hourly chart, before we get that bounce upwards. Once we have a bounce, then we go down into the final 5th wave movement, where we hit this low between 30 and 33 cents. Okay, so as we're talking about these different levels, there's basically relief rallies to be seen. And obviously profits to get taken once those relief rallies have occurred. At the moment, we are climbing our stochastic RSI on the hourly chart. This is not a good look, considering the price has just been stagnant here for the last few days, really struggling with the 200 daily EMA. Ultimately, we are looking at probably finding this as a rejection point, and we are likely to see that move to the downside. Okay, so XRP is not looking great on the daily time frame. We are still up against the resistance of the 200 EMA. The stochastic here is showing us lack of momentum to the upside. We are overbought on the 8 and 4 hour charts. Ultimately, I'm not confident in thinking that we're likely to rally on up in any significance anytime soon. I think we've got to appreciate the structures to the downside first. Of course, on the longer time frame, if we take this to the weekly, things are not as bearish, right? From a weekly standpoint, where every candle takes a week to play out, we actually see very good progression and potential to the upside. Okay, but obviously we can't just go straight up there. You have to appreciate everything that's going on those smaller time frames. And we've only really spoken about what's happening on the 1 hour and the 1 day time frames. We haven't really spoken about anything that's happening on the 15-minute, the 5-minute, all the way through to the 3-day, 5-day charts, right? Everything that's going on here, you kind of have to appreciate that they take their time to play out. And when we get to the macro level of the weekly or the monthly timeframes, well, you really are spanning multiple months into multiple years before you get to see those structures play out. And so in this particular case here, we can see that there is a potential path forward towards $5.57 and $11.25. And again, that would be on a conservative angle as well. There's potential for this to go ahead and hit impulsive trigger points and go significantly further than these targets as well. But ultimately, this is something that's going to take many, many, many months to play out before you can even see this move to the upside. And that kind of leads us on to kind of the data side and the news side, because when it comes to time in the market, Elliott wave theory doesn't do that. Elliott wave theory does not time the market structures. All it's going to do is give you kind of, how the current participants of the market are behaving, and based on that behavior, you're going to get an outcome. When it comes to news-based stuff, there's actually more specific dates in mind. But before we get into the news, let's just talk a little bit about the on-chain data, which brings me to membership.𝗕𝗘𝗪crypto.io. This particular website is our website, and it holds a lot of things, right? We've got member-only video content, member-only technical analysis, articles, project reviews, course material, on-chain data, and so much. There's 7-day free trials across all the plans, so go ahead and check that out. It's completely risk-free. If you don't like it, then you can just go to your profile area, go to the subscriptions and cancel it. If you do not cancel it, you will be charged. The plans, they start from $14.99 upwards to $49.99 monthly, and there's a lot to be offered there. So why not check it out? Risk-free, 7-day free trial across all of the plans. And if you don't like it, you can always cancel it. We're going to go over to the data zone. We're going to come over to the XRP data, and we're going to load that up. We're going to end up with this one here. I'm not going to go through the overview today, just going to focus in on the wallet counts, and we're going to focus in really on just a few of these, right? So 1 million XRP or more, 2,121 wallets, up 0.19% in the last 7 days, up 0.43% in the last 30 days, looking pretty good. Over the last year, 12.52% up. So there's a lot of accumulation happening at XRP level, at the 1 million XRP per wallet. Now, if we have over 100,000 XRP per wallet, there's 33,043 wallets. This is actually down 0.18% in the last 7 days, down 0.59% in the last 30 days, but it is up 19.49% in the last year. Okay, now this is important because yes, profits have to be taken, right? And XRP has to shift around a little bit. We have to appreciate that it's not just making made up, it's out of thin air. If you're buying it from someone else, right? Someone who is selling. So in order for wallets to kind of grow the way they have been, XRP has had to be distributed amongst various different levels. Okay, and so to see some selling pressure here from the 100,000 or more XRP wallets isn't uncommon, because we see growth on other layers such as 10,000 XRP or more, currently sitting at 273,000 wallets. You can see that this is up 0.55% in the last 7 days, up 1.39% in the last 30 days, and up a whopping 31.51% in the last year. So accumulation is happening here for XRP, and a lot of this is going to be speculation over what is going on with the SEC, which brings me on to dates, right? So mark your calendar. XRP trial date revealed amid Ripple SEC battle. And it's not so much that a date is revealed so much as dates that cannot be booked by the SEC. Specifically, when we jump into this here, we can see that basically what the SEC is saying to the judge is that they are available in April, May, and June of 2024, with the exceptions of April 15th through to April 19th, May 1st through to May 7th, and May 27th to May 31st. So in reality, there's actually a fair few dates that they cannot do, and there's probably only really a small amount of windows that they could actually go ahead and go to trial, right? So it's interesting, which brings us on to potentially even this one here, which is basically people then speculating that maybe there won't even be a battle in court based on the fact that there's not that many dates available, and maybe they won't even get their time in court at all, right? So there's a little bit of speculation going on when it comes to these things. But yeah, basically it's some interesting kind of stuff from the news side of things, but specifically with dates, which means that when it comes to accumulation, we're probably going to see some more time. We're going to appreciate that price has to go down a little ways, where you can see great accumulation before we get into court or settlement or whatever that may end up being. Ultimately, though, I think we've kind of got the rest of the year pretty safe for thinking that the price action of XRP may suffer a little bit. But ultimately, I think the long-term goal here is very, very clear. Accumulate while you can, because when that court case comes to an end, we're going to see some very, very significant wins, I think, for XRP overall. I think there's going to be a lot of growth in and appreciation in the price once there's actually, done and stop being suppressed by the SEC and the US markets. So let's go ahead and move over into liquidations and exchanges, right? $374,000 of liquidations in the last 24 hours. It's actually really small. It's nothing major going on here. Bybit is the exchange with the most amount of liquidations in the last 24 hours at $155,000. 4.35% positions were long positions that got liquidated, and 95.65% were short positions, which I do find quite interesting. This is only really interesting because we can see that actually there was very minor movements in the price action over the last 24 hours, and those minor movements have liquidated a fair amount of positions, which is basically, I think, in my opinion, either people are trading the real small time frames, or they are literally just gambling and not really using proper risk management and stop losses and things like that. So it's an interesting kind of point of view when we start seeing massive swings in one particular direction. Essentially, a lot of people are shorting the market, which I think is the smarter play, but they're not using proper risk management, or they're using way too much leverage, and they're just exposing themselves. So to see 95% in one direction is quite unusual in itself. Now, Bybit is representing 41.53% of all liquidations. OKX represents 37% of all liquidations. Binance, 20% of all liquidations. And again, you can see that those percentages sit very, very high. Bybit is 98% short positions liquidated. OKX is 99% short positions liquidated. Binance is 83% short positions liquidated. So we know that there's definitely a big swing in one particular direction. So maybe some wicks going on certain platforms. I don't know. I haven't cross-referenced every single exchange, but it's interesting if you're on those exchanges to maybe pay attention to the charts for XRP, because there's definitely some liquidations going on that are very heavy on the shorter side of things. Now, when it comes to exchanges, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of BitGet. BitGet has become my go-to platform. I do 100% of my leverage trades there, and I do 90 to 95% of my spot trades on BitGet, and that includes XRP. Now, if you haven't yet signed up to BitGet, there's an affiliate link in the description down below. If you do use that affiliate link, then you are eligible for up to $8,000 of rewards, depending on on how much you deposit and trade on the platform. Now, it's important that you understand how to trade properly, how you use risk management, all that kind of stuff. They do paper trading and all that kind of stuff with the 𝗕𝗘𝗪 platform as well. So make sure you're very familiar with it, because it does come with high risk, specifically when it comes to leverage-based trading. So why not check it out? Take advantage of the offers that are there. We also have other exchanges also linked in the descriptions below and in the Discord server as well. Ultimately, I think the best strategy is to apply to as many of these exchanges as possible, get accounts set up, get familiar with whether you need to do KYC, whether you need to link bank accounts, how do you deposit fiat, how do you withdraw fiat, how do you deposit crypto, how do you withdraw crypto. Get very familiar and get very comfortable using these exchanges, because in a bull market, this is going to be one of the things that potentially saves you a fortune. As if there are any veterans of the crypto space in the audience, they'll know essentially some of these exchanges, under such huge demand of millions of people trying to log on, basically just cannot deal with it, and they fall down. They basically close down for a few hours or so, and that's all that's required to see price action reverse on you, and you can't get out at the desired price anymore, right? And so having access to as many exchanges as you can will basically set yourself up for success, because you'll be able to spread that risk. If you can't log on to your favorite one like 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘, for example, maybe there's an alternative that you can log on to. I think the 𝗕𝗘𝗪 will be okay. I think it's going to be one of the most popular exchanges in the next bull market. So if you haven't already signed up to them, why not check it out using the link in the description below. That will then move us on over, guys, into our trade area for today's video, where we're going to be taking a look at the XRP short position that we had kind of spoken about on the 20th of August. This one's still in profit. Obviously, it has rode up a fair ways here, but we still suspect further downside. And I still think we're likely to see a move down to our first target of 45 to 46 cent. And again, it won't be a straight line drop, because I imagine that we'll look at this as a theoretical kind of something like this, right? We'll move down, we'll bounce, we'll come back down again. That's just going to be your wave 3. And it might even be deeper. It might even come down a little bit deeper based on our actual move of our wave 4 here. So we might end up with something like this. Again, you might take profit here briefly, wait for your bounce, make sure you get the confirmation of it, and then take it into that final one if you wanted to. Of course, you could just leave it going for the actual target there between 35 and 39, but things can change. So I like to come in and out multiple times and try to trade each wave where I can. Now, just bear in mind, that's how I approach the market. I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice. All I can do is give you my approach and how I approach the market here and how I kind of perceive the data in the charts. If you do have access to a financial advisor, you should probably consult them, because I'm no financial advisor. I'm just a guy on YouTube kind of telling you how I see things and how I do things, and that may not be best for everyone or even for you as an individual. Ultimately, that's how I would approach the market. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and I think I'm going to wrap this video up right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.